Updated January 18, 2018, 14 hours 34 minutes and 16 seconds. Chris Browning was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes 2 days after his 21st birthday. He was driving a bulldozer on a cotton farm and realized something was wrong. "I couldn't keep the rig straight because I was seeing double, drinking a lot of water, going to the toilet a lot," Mr. Browning said. Along with tiredness and losing weight, these are the classic early warning signs of diabetes. "I took myself off to the doctor because I knew diabetes was in the family. Since that day 36 years ago, Mr. Browning has injected himself with insulin, initially twice a day and now 4 times a day." A typical bloke, Mr. Browning was given advice about his diet and how important it was to eat the right foods, but confesses that like a typical bloke he let his wife do the cooking, a decision he now regrets. "That worked for the first 20 years, but then the marriage broke up and I had to take control of it myself and I didn't do a real good job," Mr. Browning said. "I was eating meat pies, going to the pub more often than I should." Mr. Browning's circulation deteriorated, his cholesterol levels went up and he stopped getting regular checkups at the doctor. "I should have been going more often. That's the first thing I should have done," Mr. Browning said. Fishing trip leads to amputation. Fishing is Mr. Browning's passion and he regularly goes to sea from his coastal home at Woolley on the NSW North Coast. In early 2016, he was out on his boat fishing when he stood on a fish hook. "It didn't hurt and I thought, wow, that should have hurt," Mr. Browning said. "There was no feeling there and that straight away started to ring alarm bells for me and I was off to the doctor." However, by the time he went to the doctor, Mr. Browning's toe was beyond saving and he was told it would need to be removed. "I said cut it off, I can get around without a toe. It took 8 months for the toe to almost heal, and then the toe beside it became infected," Mr. Browning said. Gangrene set in on the foot and the doctor advised that he would have to amputate the foot below the knee. Decision to defy diagnosis. For the first 2 days after his surgery, Mr. Browning was depressed and was worried his working life was over. The doctors had told him he would never drive a manual car again and that he may not be able to return to his physical job at Clarence Valley Council's water treatment plant. "I was in a mess for 2 days, but I woke up and thought this is going to kill me if I don't change my attitude," Mr. Browning said. "I'm going to be one of those people who go back to work, run and swim and do my favorite sport, fishing." 2.5 months later, Mr. Browning was back at work. After another couple of months he was back in the driver's seat of his manual 4-wheel drive ute and back fishing. His prosthetic leg still causes him pain and he still can't climb a ladder, but he is hoping with time, he will overcome both of these challenges. Mr. Browning's advice for other diabetics is to take control of your own diet. Don't rely on other people because it's your disease. Topics: diabetes, diet and nutrition, mental health, men's health, health. Lismore 2480, Grafton 2460. First posted January 18, 2018, 13 hours 0 minutes and 32 seconds.